guys, and welcome to the Dark Legend building his new computer. We are going to install these little motherboard mounting brackets right here. And we are using the Fractal Design Define R4 computer case. So we gotta assemble these. I'm using a ATX motherboard, so it goes in the AM slots. Well, after that, all we have to do now is just set the motherboard in there. Alright, so moving on to installing of the motherboard. Getting out of the box over here, which you guys can see, we have the Asus M599FX Pro R2.0. So we'll be installing that in. You can see the big huge heatsink on the bottom here. Goes through so that the AM3 Plus chip right there will be nicely secured. So we are just going to tuck this fan in there for right this second. And dropping it down and in onto those little pins that we just put in there. So once we align those, once they're aligned there, they should align through the center and on the bottom perfectly, just like that. How I always like to do it is I like to get the most difficult ones out of the way. So the most difficult one for me is going to be this top left one on here. The one down there and one down there. What I think I'm going to do is I'm going to do top left, bottom right, top right, bottom left, and then centers. Wasn't planning on doing a blue build, but I'll be doing the blue build, I guess. So, next step from here is assembling the controls on the front of the computer, and we will cover that in the next step. Alright guys, and we're back. We are going to be checking out now installing the rest of the wires onto our motherboard. So we're actually going to be installing these little sorry, I'm trying to do everything backwards here. Basically what there is, you got your ground reset, your ground power, your HDD lights, got some more grounds, your speakers. These are very important how you set these up. If you set these up incorrectly, you can screw up your whole motherboard. Typically they're on the bottom right. They're usually white. Come with the blue ones for USBs. So we're going to go ahead and set those up right now. And a whole bunch of wires that came right down here. And if you look at some of them, you'll actually be able to tell what they are by what they say. So like these right here, your power switch, or your reset switch, power switch. Then you have your power LED and your power LED plus or minus. Now, you go ahead, take a little white switch here. I personally start off with this one right here. It says power LED minus. I attach it to the power LED minus. Power LED plus. Alright, now we're rolling. You got your power switch, which I believe is going to be on the other side, which it is. Just going to be your pluses and minuses as well. Reset switch. So I'm just going to rifle through these wires, make sure I'm not missing anything. It says HD audio, USB, and that right there is a USB 3.0. So, I have a feeling that that is correct. Now you're not going to be able to see it from your angle, but down here on the motherboard, this where this little connector right here plugs in. See if I can zoom in. So that's what it says. You can see it now. We go and put this over. That's what that side says. You can see that the corresponding plugs on them match both sides. You can see that there's a couple extra switches, which would be the HDD, which would be the hard disk drive, LEDs, which I don't have that set up. So we're not going to worry about that because I don't have those. Let me put you back up on the stand now. Alright, so you can see to right about there. Maybe if I turn it this way, does that help you guys? Not really positive, but I think you can see all the way over here. Alright, so what I've done is I've switched the motherboard now. This is the back of the computer here, front of the computer here, top, bottom, etc. So we're going to go ahead and take this little plug right here that we were just talking about. It really sucks with only one person doing this. Basically, we're going to read on here. Reset is bottom right. So as long as it goes like this, where it should be. You don't want to force these on like I've said before. They kind of just pop on, if that makes any sense. You really want to make sure that you got her on there. For being such a sensitive piece of the computer, here we go. I guess this one's popping on, I don't know why. So, these are my SATAs right here. Apparently they're facing out, which is a strange direction for them to face. Not really positive what these are. I'm assuming they got my fan control though. So if I were to put these in the fan ports, they would register. I'm assuming actually I'll probably go right into this. Yeah, I can do it with 2 fans, it looks like. So we got another fan cord down here. I can control my front fan, my back fan. I believe there's only 1 front fan, it looks like. Yeah, just 1 big front fan. We got room for a couple bottom fans. With a nice actual filter on it here, which is awesome. Helps keep the dust out. Don't quite see how that's supposed to work, but maybe that's just to keep the dust off right now. So, anyways, back to what we were doing. Next step here is going to be plugging these in, which these ones right here, say what they are. This is USB, this is HD audio. This is your USB 3.0, which is easy. Your USB 3.0 is right there. So it's going to come up, over, and in. It's actually kind of a far reach for it. It's going to be stretched, but let me get you in a little bit closer on that one. Alright, so like I was just saying, this is your USB 3.0. It's going to go into this slot right here where you can read it says USB 3-34. It's going to be right next to your main power. So USB 3.0 on this motherboard anyways. It changes every once in a while. So yes, that's where we're going to be plugging it into. Right there. So keep your eye on that little slot right there. Now, like I was saying before, my case comes with a 3.0, 2 3.0s, and 2 2.0 USBs on the top section. So depending on which case you get, depending on the layout, I've got a really nice layout. I really enjoy these. They're called hideaways. I really enjoy them. Never had one before like it. But if you get one like it, then with the motherboard, you'll have a decent idea of where the layout of everything is. Like again, right here is where we're plugging it in. So we'll get back to it. And again, you don't want to fight it the whole time. But you also don't want to just... I'm almost wondering if I shouldn't rewire it. I think I am. So, with that said, we're going to pop the USB 3.0 back out and under. This would be a lot easier if we had it standing up. So that's what we're going to do. You guys aren't going to be able to see this, sorry. But I'll give you guys commentary on it. So right here, gonna unlock the back side of the case. The reason I'm doing this is because I'm a really neat freak when it comes to my cases. And I like my wires to be ran correctly. Here in a second I'll pop you over to the other side and show you really quickly what it looks like. Since I gave you guys such a cool view at the top of my computer. Alright. So as you can see on the back side of it, here is the heatsink again on the back side of the motherboard. Here is our, right here, is our 3.0 that we just pushed back through. Right here. So I'm going to be rerunning him here in 1 second. Put you back up so I can do this. Sorry you guys are getting such a terrible angle. I swear I will work on that in the next videos to come. It's just really hard with only one person. So what we're doing is I'm trying to figure out which one would be best to put him through, and I'm thinking this one right here would be the best. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pop him through. I'm actually going to leave the back of this case off just because I'm going to want to come back here and screw around with the wire replacements and everything here in a little bit. So anyways, we put this guy in. Now all we have to do is just pop him over, and I don't know why he's not snapping down, but he should be. Maybe that's it. I'm guessing that's it right there. So that's how you attach the USB 3.0. Alright guys, and we're back. I got the back of the computer case back on now. Time to get you a little bit more. I guess that kind of works anyways. I'm sorry you guys really can't see. Basically what we have here is USB right here, front panel USB, and front panel audio, HD audio. HD audio is going to go right down here. You're not going to be able to see them, but there's just some little slits right here. As long as you refer to your guys' ASUS motherboard guide, you guys will be just fine. So we're going to plug that in. And actually, it's not long enough. So, there we go. I'm just unplugging and replugging just to make sure that it fits in there nicely, which it does. Now we're going to go over to a USB, which is going to be these 3 blues down here. These are all in the line with the first main connector that we did down here, the white one that I showed you guys. They're all in a line across the bottom. HD audio is the very last one next to the cylinders on the end. USBs are the 3 blues that have the cylinders in between. So we're just going to plug this one in. Oops, you guys going to fall? No, I don't think so. Okay, we're just going to plug the USB one into the... we'll use the first one. Making sure you guys got the right one, right side in there is a key. Alright, and we are back. We have the Vengeance series of Corsair RAM that we're going to be installing. So you guys can see that. What we're going to do is we're going to be installing it into these blue slots back here. So there's a blue slot right there and blue slot right there. We're going to be installing it there. Start off by pulling this side back. Apparently this side nowadays does not pull back. So we're just going to got one installed. My favorite thing to do just to make sure is start again. Okay, they're both installed there. Right now we have 16 gigs of RAM running on this thing. Next we're going to be installing again. It's going to be our video card, which is going to go into these PCI 2.0 slots. So bear with me while I get that unpacked, and I will be right back. Alright, and we're back. Right there is our video card that we're putting into it. So you guys can stare at that while I unbox for the first time the video card. Bubble wrap coming off. Next to that, I kind of like to leave my stuff intact the best I can. So I kind of keep it all. If that's not weird at all or anything. There is our video card. It's got the HDMI plugs on, DVI, DVI-D. So right there, GeForce, we're good to go. Sticking with NVIDIA, good for them, good for me. So that was the unboxing of our video card. In the next segment, we will actually be installing it into the case. Alright guys, so I have just removed the cover from the back side of the computer for my PCI 3.0 video card. So what we are going to do is we're going to remove all of this plastic they put on there because NVIDIA and EVGA apparently are worried that we're going to scratch the crap out of the video card. I don't know if that's supposed to come off or not, but we're gonna take it off. Alrighty, so we are going to be installing this right now. It's looking like it's a 2 solder, so take 2 on that. Ooh, it is a 2 solder. I did not realize, I guess. So what I'm going to do just to make sure that I have enough room for it. So I'm going to take off the top 3. Nope. Hot damn, it's down, guys. That is one extremely tight-fitting video card. So we're gonna pause, and I'm gonna try to figure out whether I want it there or if I want it all the way down at the bottom. So bear with me, and we will be back in 1 minute. Okay guys, and we're back. I have decided not to screw with where it's at, because if I do, it's going to take away some of the actual slots throughout the rest of my computer. So limiting expansion, which of course we all know is not good. So we're going to tighten this baby down where it sits. So we've got 1 expansion slot still available above it. We've got 4 below it. So the one right above it, I have a feeling, is going to become my case light switch. So we'll have to see about that. Alright, so my video card now is fully installed. You guys can see that. Only thing left to do is connect the power supply, which is right there. We got the SLI bridge, which is right here, so in case someday I want to get two of them, I can move this one down to be right next to each other at SLI together, which should be great, but there's really no need in it. I'd actually want to get a bigger computer case if I ever want to do that, and this computer case is big enough for me, so at that point you might as well build a new computer as far as I can see. So we're going to put this one right back on, make it look all nice again. Screw the cord to my box. Alright guys, that is all we have left to do for today. So we will pick up tomorrow and the next day when the rest of the parts start to come in. So thanks for watching. Alright, and we are back for the second installment. We're going to be placing our CPU and CPU cooling fan on today. So I will get that unboxed here. We're going to be using the AMD FX 8-core processor, Black Edition. This is FX 8350 if you can't see that. Let me unbox it and we will get started. When placing your processor, you want to be very careful on how you do it. It comes in this little package right here. You can't see that. Processor is just this little square right here. It's going to mount right here in this black area. You just want to be really careful on how you do it. You want to lift the little metal trigger arm that's down in there. There should be one, sometimes I have two of them in there. Just want to gently lift them up. Be very careful with your processor. Try to only touch the sides of it. You don't want to bend any of the needles that are on the back. If you can't see that, there's a ton of needles in there. Yeah, right there, you guys can see. You don't want to bend those. So there's also some holes that you can see in here, right in there. You're going to want to place those according to what's down on the board. So let's have a look. So it looks like it's gonna go now. When you get it in there perfectly, it's gonna just pop right down into it. It's not gonna stand up or anything like that. You're gonna feel it, what the difference is between standing up on top of it and it actually fitting perfectly down in there. It's just gonna drop with ease. You're not gonna have to worry about it or anything like that. It's just gonna pop in. And like I said, it's right here. You guys can see where I placed it. It's placed right there. You're gonna go ahead and now lower that lever back down till it locks all the way down. Alright, we're back. Now we have the fan unboxed. It's got this old plastic on the backing of it, covering it. You can kind of see that? Yeah, you can see the plasticing around the edges. See this little silver dot right there? That is going to be your CPU heatsink. That's going to be the heatsink sealer. It needs to be on there. That's what protects your CPU from actually hitting the copper and getting too hot. You can tell it's got a lot of pipes on it, a lot of cooling agencies, which is what it does is the copper comes through, the copper gets heated, and it brings it through all of these little grates down here on the side. And the fan is attached right above those grates, cooling them, keeping the copper cool at all times, or trying to anyways. So when you look inside the case, there's going to be clips on two sides of the CPU, and that's where these little metal brackets are going to sit. So what we're going to do is we're going to pull off, first off, we're going to unlock the little little locking mechanism right here, so that it's loose, meaning that this clamp is down at its fullest extent. So what we're going to do is we're going to rock this side on, and then lock her down. What we're going to want to do is we're going to want to put it to, first find your CPU fan plug, which is this a white one right back here. I don't know if you guys can see that. I'll try to zoom in on it really quick for you. So right here, this is going to be your CPU fan one. This one that I got my finger on right now. Not the one on the right, which would be this one. But this left, oops, wrong. This left one right here, not this one. So we're going to plug the CPU fan into this one right here. So we're going to zoom out a little bit. Get you guys reorganized, there we go. So we're actually placing the CPU now. I want to have the wire that's coming out of this yeah, there you guys go. Out of the cooling fan, we're going to want to have that facing the back. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead, I'm going to pull the plastic off gently, set that down. We're going to want to there you guys go. So while you guys took a tumble, I did get the fan on there. So, and like I read in the descriptions, it is very tight, but it's on there. So now what we're going to do is we're just going to take this little fan cord, which is this one right here. Like I said, we're going to plug it into this little white circuit back here, which you can't see because now it's covered by the fan. Alright, and that is how you install your CPU fan. It is, it's a challenge, but definitely something that you need to do. So, I mean, obviously, for obvious reasons, it's a necessity. Kind of scary putting them on because you just spent a ton of money on building a computer. But once they're on, they're probably the hardest challenge out of the whole project is putting your CPU fan on, I'd say. And as from what you can tell by the rest of my video and the video so far, it's definitely the hardest challenge of it. So that is it. Tomorrow we will be finishing up with the power supply, hopefully, as long as it comes. And adding in some case fans, possibly. That might not be in the video, I might just have some photos of those. So I guess that's it. Thanks. Alright, so we finally got in the final piece, which is our power supply. So that would be this right here. 1000 watt power supply is the Coolmaster Silent Pro Gold 80 plus gold power supply, 1000 watt. So we are going to be installing that now. So give me a second and we will get this underway. This is the final piece to fully setting up and actually starting the computer. So I guess that's upside down. There's the back of it. Big fan, Coolmaster, good brand. It's gonna sit in there like this. The reason it sits in there like that with the fan down is so that air can come in the back, pushes it down to cool it down. It's got a bunch of heat sink on the inside as well, So let's get started. There is a bunch of plugs on the back, and corresponding to those plugs are these wires right here. As you can tell, they're all just jumbled together. So first off, we're going to mount it. We're going to do that first. Alright, so we're back. Now we got it fully mounted, got the 4 screws in the back of it. I know it's going to be really hard for you guys to see, but we are going to now unravel all these power cords right here. And we're going to plug them in according to where they go on the motherboard. So this big sucker right here, which is the big one, I don't know if you guys can see that. Yeah, you guys can. Sorry about the lighting and everything. This is the first time and don't really have very good lighting studio equipment. I'm just in my office. But that is it right there. Let me see if I can turn on the light, if that helps at all. That helped a little bit. So that is a light right there. Those are the cords right there. They are gonna go right up here, which is this big blue bar that you can see right where my hand's kind of covering up, but there's a big blue bar right there. They're gonna plug into that. Now there's 2 of them because some of them don't take all of it, but the one that I do is gonna take it all. So you want to make sure you line these up correctly. You should hear a little snap when you get it in there correctly. Alrighty, now the rest of it is all just kind of knowing what you're looking for. There's a 6 plug on this one. It's only 6 plug. So this is the 6 plug that we're looking for. It's pretty self-explanatory once you start looking at. You really can't tell, but all these little diodes that are right there, you can kind of see them. All these, there's actually 6 little compartments on here, and they're all shaped differently. And as long as you look on the motherboard, 9 times out of 10 they're going to match up perfectly, and that is the correct spot for it. So that one fit in perfect. That's where that's supposed to go. Alright, now that we got the rest of the power in the whole thing plugged in, what we're going to do is actually finish up with the power supply. By that I mean we are going to take apart this huge bundle of wires right here. We're going to slowly start plugging them in. What we're going to do with them is we're going to connect up power for inside of the case now. Alright, so we have connected our 2 fans, and we have connected the power to the 2 fans and the power to the 2 hard drives. I believe we are ready to go, other than just plugging it in and giving it a dry fire. Let me just go over everything. We got our lovely CPU. We've, while we're gone, seeing as how my power supply has a CPU or a PCI plug on it, what I was thinking was to make it look a little bit nicer, I'm actually going to take this PCI cord that they have sent. plug it in down there. Cord the wire up. And run it to there. See if that works. Now, you see all these wires in there? It's all jumbled up. You probably can't see it because of the freaking camera quality, which I'm, again, very sorry about. But that's all going to be fixed. I'm waiting on a control pan, or a touch screen, fan control, and 3-4 more fans. And once those are in, then we'll do another video, or I'll take photos and post them so you can actually see the finalized product. So now I'm going to turn you off, and I'm going to start this up. Actually, I'm going to leave you on. I'm going to turn you off for a second while I get the cables connected. I'm going to turn you back on, and we will start this thing up together. Alright, so here we go for the first boot. Everything's on. Everything's working. Lights are flashing. No signal, huh? That's not a good sign. We'll give it a few more seconds. Sometimes this is an HDMI setup. Sometimes it takes it a second to recognize it. Let's switch back over to HDMI 1. I think it's recognizing something. Apparently not. Keep our fingers crossed that it works this time. Keyboard is on. Asus is on. F1 to run setup. Alright guys, so we are good. From here on out, it's just installing, and I will be taking care of that. So thanks for tuning in. I hope you learned a little bit of something. There will be more to come as I modify my computer a little bit more. So have a great day. Thanks.